Hold on, I was told I should show a picture of what I want. Trying to look like a normal guy. Yeah.
Feel all my eccentricities being shaved away.
Bussin' fam, for real, for real. Today I have an announcement that some of you are going to take pretty hard, but it is a statement that's been a long time coming. I have decided to stop being mentally ill. Being mentally ill was fun for a while, really it was, and I met some really cool people in the mental illness community. But I have decided it's time to stop. Instead of being depressed, I'm instead going to be happy. Instead of being schizophrenic, I'm going to accept reality for what it is. Instead of being autistic, I'm just going to cut that out. I'm just going to cut that out. Instead of being BPD, I've decided that's not real. That's not a real thing. That's just how women are. Broad personality disorder, am I right, fellas? I know a lot of you are going to make the decision to remain mentally ill, and that is a decision I only wish I was strong enough to be able to make. I can no longer call myself a mental illness superfan. When I got into mental illness, I was really expecting it to be good for me, you know, form tight communities with interesting people. And for a while it was. The depressed people were always complaining about their problems. The anxious people never wanted to go to parties with me. The BPD people never existed. That's not real. The autists were rambling incomprehensibly. The schizos were rambling incomprehensibly, but like in a different way. You would never expect this, but a lot of those guys had serious issues. Maybe we just don't have this conversation enough, but I think mental illness might actually, like, be not good. And in fact, bad. And I wish someone had explained that to me before I begun my journey. Have you ever tried just getting over it? Have you ever attempted that? Because I did. I decided yesterday that I was going to be mentally healthy. And it worked. I'm done with all this mental illness stuff. Instead, I'm just going to be normal. And, you know, I may have sent the wrong message here and there with my videos, just thinking back on it, encouraging people to be schizophrenic and autistic. Retrospectively, might have been sending the wrong message. Upon reflection, and again, this is really something that only becomes clear when you're really examining your actions. Mental illness isn't good, and it shouldn't be encouraged. I know it took me maybe longer than it takes most people to come to that conclusion, but I really need to feel out the idea before I come to conclusions about this. The other aspect of this is I've been playing the role of someone on a endless downward spiral for basically my entire life, and it's gotten boring. You know, I was thinking maybe I could keep digging the hole and eventually it would horseshoe theory around and bring me back to the surface. But that's not how holes work. You just keep digging and you just keep getting deeper and deeper. Essentially, I've deeply stunted my growth. Downward spirals are lame, predictable, not very interesting, played out, and worst of all, it's postmodern instead of post-postmodern. And as a meta post-postmodernist, just kidding, I'm dropping all that shit as well. I'm just a regular post-postmodernist now. Yes. Good. I resolve not to wallow in guilt and shame even in the face of overwhelming despair and regret. As an artist, I seek to shock, subvert, and surprise. However, we live in very cynical times where deconstruction is the norm. Thus, I conclude that the most shocking and subversive thing that I can do is to just live an authentic life. Try to improve my mental condition, make good art that people actually want to see. And the best part is, I'm for real, fam. I have enough artistic justification to actually go through with the upward spiral arc. My most ironic prank yet. Greg, you realize this is a manic episode, right? What? You do this every time. You go through a manic episode and you feel like you're fixed and everything's good now, and then you do some big identity change in order to associate yourself with how healthy you are, and then eventually you come crashing right back down to where you always go, and then everything's back to normal and this cycle repeats again. You're bipolar, you have an illness, and this is... I no longer seek to identify with this framework. I'm J-Regular now.
He's J-Regular, he's regular now.
I'm finally normal.